on the campus of Indiana University, where I spent 6 years of my life and where the Lord saved me. There was an outdoor evangelist who preached to the students walking by to their class, going to Ballantine Hall. And he was mocked mercilessly. I don't know that I ever publicly joined in the mocking, but I held him in contempt before my conversion. I remember him being assaulted by a man not worthy of being mentioned. I don't know what kind of fruit he saw from his ministry, but I remember what happened after my conversion. I didn't care. I didn't care anymore about the crowd that was mocking him. I wasn't part of them anymore. I wanted to identify with him. The change in my life that conversion brought made me prefer a forsaken outdoor evangelist in my affections to the whole crowd around him that was mocking and laughing and at him and all of that. I didn't know what to do about that. But he was saying things like what I've said to you here today. I remember he said, when you truly come to Christ, you don't need all that other stuff. He's talking about all of the sins that preoccupy the lives of college students on a secular campus. So you don't need all that stuff. And I knew what he was talking about. I wanted to identify with him on that point in the face of dozens, if not 100 or more witnesses. Before, I didn't want that. But in that moment, the most important thing to me was to identify with the people of God in the best way I knew at that. And one word came out of my mouth after he said that. I said, "Amen." Everybody looked at me. He looked at me, said, "Who said that?" I did. Why? No credit to me. I couldn't help myself. I had to identify with him against all of the opposition. And a true Christian knows something about that I've got to identify with the true people of God, even when they are forsaken and mocked and left behind. I have to be with the true people of God and identify with them, because I love them and I share a spirit with them that I don't share with anyone else. I've got love for the brethren. And so, beloved, I ask you whether you have these things in your heart or not. A recognition of the glory of God in your salvation, faith, hope, and love, and that you can look and say, there was somebody who came to me. There was somebody who told me. And they were the instrument that God used to bring the gospel to me, because I wouldn't have figured it out on my own. The answers to these kinds of questions help you know if your faith is real